confidence, energy, and a whole lot of heart. This wasn't just a game, it was a showcase of youth, grit, and future potential. The San Antonio Spurs, led by their fearless rookies, came out firing against the Phoenix Suns. But Phoenix, they weren't backing down. From clutch jumpers to explosive drives, every moment counted in this electrifying matchup. Welcome back to Basketball Insider USA. If you want to get the deepest breakdown of the NBA, make sure to hit that subscribe button now. Your support keeps us going and brings you all the best basketball content. The atmosphere inside the arena was electric from the moment the game began. You could almost feel the intensity in the air as the two teams stepped onto the floor, each one hungry for victory but with vastly different rosters. The Phoenix Suns, a seasoned squad led by the veteran leadership of Chris Paul and the explosive scoring of Devin Booker, were looking to extend their dominance. The San Antonio Spurs, on the other hand, were on a mission to prove that their youthful energy, led by an impressive crop of rookies, could stand toe-to-toe with one of the best in the West. The game kicked off with immediate drama. Phoenix made an early miscue, turning the ball over, and the Spurs pounced on the opportunity, capitalizing with a quick three-pointer. The ball sailed cleanly through the net, and from that point on, you could sense that this wasn't going to be an ordinary game. The Spurs, fueled by the excitement of their future stars, were playing with an edge, and it was clear that Phoenix's experienced core was going to have to fight hard to control the tempo. The pace of the game was fast, and the energy on the floor matched it. San Antonio's rookies, led by Malachi Branham, came out firing. Branham, who had already impressed throughout the season, hit a deep three-pointer early in the quarter, immediately signaling to Phoenix that he was ready for the big stage. It wasn't just his shot-making, though. Branham's court awareness was on display. He moved seamlessly within the offense, knowing when to take the shot and when to dish out a perfect pass. The Suns were quick to respond. Devin Booker, who has long been one of the most lethal offensive players in the league, immediately found his rhythm. He wasn't just hitting jumpers, he was putting on a clinic in footwork and mid-range shooting, connecting on a smooth fadeaway that had the crowd buzzing. Booker's offensive versatility was on full display as he effortlessly got to the rim, using his shiftiness to get by defenders, then pulling up for his trademark jumpers when the defense collapsed on him. Jeremy Sochan, San Antonio's promising young forward, was also making his presence felt. Sochan wasn't just contributing offensively, he was playing with an intensity that had Phoenix's offense on edge. His athleticism was unmatched as he attacked the rim with force, finishing through contact. But it wasn't just his offense, his defensive pressure on Booker was immense. Sochan was like a shadow, staying attached to Booker through every screen and cut. The quarter ended with both teams battling back and forth, throwing punch after punch, with each possession growing more and more important as the minutes ticked away. As the second quarter began, both teams seemed to settle into their game plans. Phoenix, led by Chris Paul, started to assert control, using their veteran experience to slow things down and dictate the pace. Paul's calming influence was evident. He orchestrated the offense like a maestro, threading the needle with pinpoint passes and pulling the strings behind every Suns possession. His basketball IQ was on full display, as he picked apart the Spurs' defense with ease. DeAndre Ayton, Phoenix's massive center, was another key figure in the second quarter. Ayton imposed his will on both ends of the floor, dominating the boards and blocking shots with ease. His presence in the paint was a nightmare for the Spurs, as they struggled to get clean looks near the rim. Ayton's defensive rebounding was especially crucial, limiting the Spurs' opportunities for second-chance points. However, San Antonio wasn't backing down. Sochan continued to drive the ball to the basket with reckless abandon, drawing fouls and finishing tough layups in the face of Phoenix's defense. Branham kept the pressure on by hitting back-to-back three-pointers, keeping San Antonio within striking distance. The Spurs were relentless, and every time it seemed like Phoenix was about to pull away, the Spurs answered with a timely play, a sharp defensive stop, or a big shot from one of their young stars. Coming out of the halftime break, both teams looked more determined than ever. Phoenix came out with a burst of energy, looking to take control with a series of fast breaks and transition baskets. The Suns were relentless, pushing the ball up the floor and capitalizing on every opportunity to score in transition. Booker was a major catalyst in the third, attacking the basket with newfound aggression. He drove to the hoop with authority, finishing strong at the rim while drawing fouls and getting to the free throw line with ease. But the Spurs weren't ready to fold. Malachi Branham, who had been stellar throughout the game, continued to knock down difficult shots in the face of tough defense. Whether it was pulling up for a contested jumper or stepping back for a three-pointer, Branham seemed unshaken, maintaining his composure despite the mounting pressure. His ability to score in multiple ways kept the Spurs within reach, even as Phoenix started to build a lead. Chris Paul's leadership became even more crucial in the third quarter. He orchestrated several key possessions, feeding Aiden in the post and setting up easy baskets for his teammates. Phoenix's offense started to flow more freely as the quarter went on, with every Suns player contributing to the surge. The Spurs, despite their best efforts, couldn't quite catch up, and the Suns seemed to be pulling away as they found their rhythm. The final frame brought the intensity to a whole new level. Phoenix, with a growing lead, looked to close things out in style. Devin Booker, who had been sensational all night, took matters into his own hands. He wasn't just shooting from the perimeter, he was attacking the basket with ferocity, finishing through contact and getting to the line. Booker's scoring explosion in the fourth gave the Suns the cushion they needed to seal the game. But the Spurs weren't going to go down without a fight. Jeremy Sochan, playing like a seasoned veteran despite being a rookie, continued to press the action. He was relentless, attacking the rim with power and making strong finishes, while also playing exceptional defense on Booker, forcing him into tough shots in the waning moments of the game. Sochan's intensity was infectious, and while the Spurs fought to the end, it was clear that Phoenix had the experience to close it out. As the clock ticked down, the Suns held steady, securing the win. While the scoreboard read in their favor, the game had been much closer than the final score suggested. It was a hard-fought battle, a game full of young talent and veteran savvy, and both teams had shown what they were capable of on the court. At the end of the night, the Suns took home the victory, but the Spurs' young core had shown that their future was incredibly bright. Malachi Branham and Jeremy Sochan had proven themselves as key pieces for the Spurs moving forward, showing off their talent, poise, and ability to perform under pressure. For the Suns, Chris Paul's leadership and Devin Booker's scoring ability were crucial, with Phoenix's experience ultimately helping them secure the win. This game was a thrilling back-and-forth battle, a true showcase of the rising stars in the NBA and a reminder of why both of these teams have such bright futures.